Hey everybody, Doom here from Dungeons and Doom Biscuit, and this is part 2 of my mechanical scorpion build. I'm pretty pleased with it. There's a lot of things I forgot. I did go back and put some little triangles of cardstock on here to be like bolts and just add some detail. It looked a little plain. I threw some also on the sides of the treads because I wanted to put beads there and I forgot all about it. But he's mostly done and he's dry enough that I think we can start painting him. So I'm going to start with a fat brush and this palm leaf green from Walmart, because I want him to be a lighter green, but since he's so dark, I'm going to have to lighten him up a little bit first. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get in here and try to quickly paint him green. And this doesn't have to be perfect, because there's going to be battle damage and paint missing, and he's old and beat up. So unless you're trying to make one that's brand new, you don't even have to take your time on this. Just get it covered the best you can. Looks like I'm going to need a lot more paint than what I squirted out there. Okay. So we're just going to get him painted green the best we can. And then we're going to hit him with the air gun so we can move on from here. Let's talk about infidelity today. Today's a secret word. I was talking to a performer. I do some live streaming, some music. I play guitar. I do some live streaming. It's nothing spectacular. It's just like a fun hobby of mine. And I keep it separate from YouTube. And it does generate a little bit of money, but it's nothing spectacular. And I kind of quit it from time to time and then I go back to it. It's just like a little thing. Well, anyways, I was talking to another performer whose spouse cheated on her. And this has become her only income now because she didn't work. She was a stay-at-home mom, and then her spouse cheated on her. And the laws where she is are very different than they are in the United States. And he doesn't have any accountability for the child or anything. Well, here in the U.S., you have accountability for your child if you have one, but that's not everywhere in the world. So I feel bad for her. I don't know what to tell her. I can't help her. I'm married and happily married and have kids and dogs and a house and all the things I'm supposed to have. I can't really spare a lot of money at the moment. My wife's not even getting paid for her next paycheck because the school system that she works for mismanaged money or embezzled money or something. We're still not clear, but the whole truth is there. So we can't even, be like, say, yeah, we can give you some money to help you out if we wanted to. I'm not saying I don't want to, but I just couldn't if I did. So it puts me in this awkward position where I feel terrible and I want to help her out. But it all comes down to infidelity. If you're having trouble with the concept of fidelity, and you're having trouble staying loyal, there's some things you can do to really nip that in the bud. And I'm not saying it's perfect, but the first thing you can do is not engage in conversations or be in relationships with people that promote that kind of behavior. If you have a female friend or a male friend or whoever that you're interested in, you should make sure that relationship stays as platonic and non-intimate as possible. Don't share your personal secrets with them, even if it feels good and even if they're supportive and it makes you happy. Don't do that. Make efforts to, as hard as it can be at times, to remember what your priority is. And if your priority is your family and your children and your spouse and doing what you think is right, because seldom are you going to be like, yes, cheating is right. You're not going to do that. Most people couldn't say that with a straight face. Okay, we got him pretty green there. Let's work on this tail now. So the first thing to do if you want to remain fidelis, whatever, if you want to remain loyal, is to not put yourself in conversations and relationships that help you rationalize breaking the boundary. Don't be looking at a bunch of other naked ladies. Don't flirt with the girls at the store. Don't do things that you wouldn't be happy if you saw your significant other doing. Okay? I kind of like this green color. I might just not lighten it up much. Maybe I'll hit it with a dry brush of the other green, because this green looks good. Looks pretty good, I think. What do you do if you're in a relationship with someone else that you shouldn't be with while you're married, or in a what if you're already being disloyal? How do you fix that? Well, I don't know. I've not really had to play that game, but as far as just the things I do to keep from putting myself in a situation where I would have to, feel like I could justify doing something that I know is wrong. And I don't say, when I say wrong, I say like as moral hierarchy, not religious or anything else. Just the general stance of society is this is undesirable behavior. I really like that green. I didn't want to use this green, but it just turned out to cover it decent enough that I'm happy. And I think it looks good. Here's some other things you can do. If you feel like you're not getting what you need at home, instead of searching for it elsewhere, go tell the person that you're with, hey, I feel like I'm not getting as much love as I need, or as much attention as I need, or engaged with as much as I need. Tell them. Just tell them. Make it a hard conversation if you have to. Sometimes it's not easy to say what you think, but do it. It's worth it. Saving what you have instead of destroying it and trying to build something new is always, always, always going to be a completely different experience. I wouldn't say it's going to be an easier experience, but it's going to be different. Just the effort that you make to show that you're unhappy or that your needs aren't being met might be enough for your significant other to be like, oh shit, I can't believe I've done this. They might not even realize it. Maybe they're in a depression or going through something on their own, and they don't see the problem because it's not affecting them. If they can't accept that, suggest counseling or suggest talking to someone. If you have a religious leader or a close friend that you both have that could see the situation and make a good decision, that's an option. You don't always have to go straight for counseling or church. There's people in your life. But don't just throw it away because somebody's unhappy right now. And if the other person has been unfaithful or is talking about being unfaithful, figure out if it's you or if it's them. Because sometimes it is just other people or shits. But sometimes it's us. Sometimes we're the problem and we're making our significant other happy. That doesn't give them an excuse to leave you or cheat or to do anything horrible, but it does give them an excuse to make decisions that are best for them. And if that involves a divorce or a split up of some sort, that can happen. And it's terrible, but that's just the reality. Know your limits. Know how mature you are in different social situations. Don't leave yourself flapping out there to do something inappropriate that you're going to regret later. If you're extra charming, remember that you're extra charming. Don't let that go by the wayside. Keep that in your back pocket. Hey, I'm pretty charming. I need to make good decisions here. And don't be afraid to talk to your partner about other people coming on to you. They might get a little jealous. They might get a little angry. But if you're honest and upright saying, hey, so-and-so's been kind of hitting on me. I just wanted to put it out there. I'm not interested. I'm not doing anything. But before this becomes a problem, I just wanted to let you know. You'd be surprised that a lot of the time your partner will be thrilled. My wife, however, is not one of those partners. But many of the women I've dated and my ex-wife did appreciate honesty in those ways. My current wife, Lady Doom, no. She don't want to hear it. She sees women hit on me, and it's my fault. I'm an older guy. I'm a little bit overweight. I'm not great looking anymore. I've definitely gone by the wayside, but I'm still kind of charming, and I'm funny, and I'm intelligent, and I get hit on it from time to time, and I don't provoke it. I don't ask for it. It just kind of happens, and she does not appreciate it, so I have learned to not always tell her every situation that might be, I pick and choose. And that's probably not smart, but it just makes life easier for me. And that's the wrong answer. As I'm telling you it, I realize I am wrong for doing that. All right, that lighter green did kind of give him a different look that I like. I'm going to stick to that. I'm going to use a different cardboard. I'm going to keep my same brush. I'm going to get a metallic bronze color of some sort. I have this metallic brown. It's almost gone. But I think it'll be good for what I want here. I'm setting that brush to the side. I'm going to get a smaller brush that I can work with a little more control. I'm going to get my brush good and covered up. I'm going to wipe a lot of it out. And then I'm going to come around here and I'm going to add some initial corrosion. I'm going to really focus up on some of these external parts that would take a lot of damage. And I intentionally did not do these claws over here because I just want to paint them this color. Just like that. And I'm going to come back and do some more corrosion spots inside this bucket a little bit. Maybe along the back side I'm going to do a little bit more and a little thicker. Some up on the tail. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. I'm going to leave this brown metallic out. I'm going to get something to mix with it. I'm going to get some water from my thing here. I'm going to get some of this burnt umber. And I'm going to break the base up a little bit, and then I'm going to add some of this really watered down as grunge. So I'm going to start painting my base kind of half-assedly with that. Missing spots intentionally, covering up any green I got down there. Just like that. I'm going to try to get in there and do some of that. Then I'm going to get some of that just brown with hardly any metallic in it. I'm going to come around again and add some variation to that. Try covering some spots here and there just to make it look a little interesting. Now, I forgot something about my green, so I'm going to get my green. Shit. All right, that's not going to work. I'll have to come back and do that, the track outsides. So now I want to get, I'm going to fix up where I messed up there too with the dumbass move. Now I'm going to get a color I love called burnt umber. No, not burnt umber. I'm so sorry. Pavement. And I'm going to paint my tracks. I'm going to use that same brush since it's already out. And I love pavement a lot. So I'm going to get some of this wet pavement here. I have different ones. And I'm going to do my tracks in that pavement color. Make sure it gets down in there the best I can. Now, if you want to cheat on your spouse, do not follow my advice. It will not help you. If you want to cheat on your boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever the hell you got, anywhere in between there, I'm not the guy to give you advice on that. But if you want to stay loyal, my advice will help you going a long way in that direction. I've been with my wife like 19 years. We weren't married the whole time. We didn't get married for like 10 years, but I've been with her like 19 years, and I've never had any instances where I was like, well, I got to cheat. I hit these little bucket teeth with that. Because I kind of don't like the way that looks. All right, brushing that brush. Black and any kind of silver, metallic, and some water, or if you have metallic black like I do. That's regular metallic. Metallic black. A very wet brush. And then I'm going to gunge him up. Gunge is a technical term for making him dirty and nasty. And you can add different browns and different stuff into the gunge to make it have different effects. The thicker you put the paint in it, the darker it's going to dry, and the better of a gunge effect you could get in certain spots. The more water you add, obviously, the better. Now, I want this tail to look like it's been getting hydraulic leaks and oil leaks forever. So I'm definitely going to put some effort into the tail, a little bit more than I do in most areas. A little bit more water here. I'm going to gunge up this stuff. I'm going to do some gunge around his head, and looks like I didn't paint the inside there. I'm going to gunge that. Okay. A little bit of thicker stuff down in here because I want it to be darker and a little grim. I want his bottom side to look like it's got oil around it. And then I'm going to get some of the watery stuff and I'm going to touch around on the base. And that's going to create some natural gunginess. I have a lot of this left. I'm going to make sure I gunge up my claws over here and make them oily and nasty. I hit this corner back here a little bit. Then I want to ruin the inside of my bucket so it's not so beautiful. I think gunge is a good choice for that. And we'll get the last little bit of gunge, put it on the outside of the claws, and in that spot where a little bit of the cardboard was showing. Now we're starting to look pretty good. Let's get a hot air gun and see if we can't clean this up a little bit. Bring my camera up so you guys can see the whole thing. It's pretty big. It's not the biggest thing I've done, but it's big. All right, so for the next step, we want to do kind of a metallic dry brush over the whole thing. I'm just going to use this green brush because it's fairly dry. I'm going to make sure I get all my paint out of that the best I can. I'm going to get a little metallic. I'm going to steal all that metallic from the bottom of that cap. Just like that. Then I'm going to come around and do some, in just the right spots, kind of add some scrapes and stuff. And I'm going to hit the tires, the treads with that a little bit. And I'm going to try to grab some of these bolts a little bit where it's real wet and rip some of that around just to give it a different idea of how it could look. I'm going to get a smaller brush so I can clean up, do the treads on the side. I have some of this paint left here. Let's hope it's enough to cover this up. I might need to get a little bit more. That's okay if I do. Just doing, try not to get it all over the place though. Trying just to maintain that green kind of color I had. Just like that. Why not? Why waste it? You know, if I don't have to pour more out or use the lid. I don't like using the lids so much anymore. I used to use them to save paint, but I'm gonna be honest with you, the amount of time I waste messing with lids and spilling paint trying to do that one, I could squirt some out on my cardboard and get what I want going. Seems irrational. I'm gonna get that lighter green and just kind of splash it around on there. I'm going to rinse my brush out, get some of that gungy black. I'm going to dab it around on there and just give it some variation. So it's like a gungy greenish black at this point. And I have a lot of area here that I think could use some gunging, so I'm going to gunge that. We have eyes, we have teeth, and we're pretty gunged up otherwise. All right. The eyes, I'm going to do a bright red. I'm just going to use miniature paint for this. I'm going to use a pretty small brush that I would use to do miniatures to do the eye. For the teeth, I'm going to use an obnoxiously bright silver called Shining Silver. That's really good for like plate mail accent. And I'm going to do his little teeth. Then I'm going to come back with that little Shining Silver. I'm going to do some of the edges of some of these square kind of accent pieces with that real bright silver. Not all of them, just some of them. I'm not painting the whole thing, I'm just grabbing parts of them and painting parts of them. And then you can make some scrapes down his side if you wanted to. So what you want to do is you want to like just kind of drag it down, kind of thick. That's newly exposed metal, that's all that is. And then I want his nose to look scraped up, part of his head. And I'm just going to try to use some of the silver so I don't waste it. Something like that. Now, one last step. This is going to look good, I think. I have that dark brown already out. So I'm going to get that kind of bigger brush I was using and some water. I'm going to get, where's that one brush I had? Oh, I'm just going to use, I wanted to use that little brush I had. I think I threw it in my water, didn't I? No, I lost it. There it is. Little brush I had. Some water. I want to get that that pavement and some of this brown. Some water. And I want to gunge up my tracks a little bit with that real wet. Okay. Something like that. Then I'll just get some of that off color there. And I'll do a little bit more variation on my base just to add a little something to it. And I'll get some more with the gray. And there's areas that are really obnoxiously green. I'll gunge those. Areas that just are too bright. The more different gunges I have, the better this is going to look. All right. Sweet. Ugh. I don't know if you guys like this kind of stuff. I have a lot of fun doing these. There's the regular mini next to the Techno-Scorp or whatever. Maybe Techno-Scorp sounds good. He doesn't really look very techno. I could decorate him up. But anyways, that's kind of what I came up with. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm going to hit him with a clear coat when he's dry. Please like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell icon. Share it with a friend. I said that already. Leave a comment. Oh, I love comments. You can ask the people that watch me regularly. I answer almost every comment. I really do. I love it. I don't get that many where it's taking up the whole day anyways, and I enjoy doing it. It's a lot of fun for me. So please leave comments. Even if you're like, you suck, I'll take it. I like those comments too. So anyways, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. I don't know what I'm doing next time. I usually don't know till I get down here, just like today. So, adios.